There's a moment that changes everything. Not loud, not obvious. Just a heartbeat that skips when they walk into the room. A silence that feels like it's holding its breath. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange gravity pulling you towards someone who's supposed to be just a friend. They never said the words. No confession written in the stars. No movie moment where everything clicks into place. Just a look that lingered half a second too long. A touch that felt like coming home. And you told yourself you were imagining it. That the way they remember how you take your coffee means nothing. That the softness in their voice when they say your name is just coincidence. But here's what your heart already knows. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks and declarations. Sometimes it arrives like morning light, so gradual you don't notice until suddenly everything is illuminated. Right now, in this very moment, someone might be loving you in a language you haven't learned to speak yet, and you've been walking past the signs like they're written in invisible ink. Today, we're going to shine a light on 4 hidden signals that whisper, "I love you," when their lips stay silent. But I need you to stay until the end, because sign 4, it's the kind of love that people spend their whole lives searching for, and most never recognize until a person is just a memory. If someone's name just echoed in your mind, if their face appeared behind your eyes, then this message is for you. Have you ever noticed how some people just feel different? Not in what they say, but in how the air changes when they're near. That's not magic. That's the body telling truths the mouth is too afraid to speak. Watch them when they think you're not looking. The way their shoulders relax when you sit beside them. Like they've been holding tension they didn't know existed until you dissolved it with your presence. Their hands, always finding reasons to be closer to yours. Passing you something and letting their fingers brush yours for just a moment longer than necessary. It's not an accident. It's a heart trying to touch yours through the only language it knows. When you laugh, really laugh, notice how their whole face transforms. Not just a smile, but something deeper, like watching you happy makes their world make sense. Their eyes soften in a way they don't for anyone else. You might think you're reading too much into it, but bodies don't lie the way words do. They lean toward you in crowded rooms. They mirror your movements without realizing. Like their soul is trying to dance with yours. And when you're hurting, when life gets heavy and your voice cracks just slightly, watch how quickly they move closer, how their hand reaches out before they even think about it. That's not friendship alone. That's love living in the space between breaths. In the way they orbit around you, like you're the sun, and they've forgotten how to exist in darkness. But this is just the beginning. Sign 2 will break your heart open in the most beautiful way. Memory is a strange kind of love letter. We remember what matters. We hold on to moments that mean something. And they remember everything about you. Not because they're trying to impress you, but because forgetting you would be like forgetting how to breathe. You mentioned once, maybe months ago, that you loved the smell of rain on summer pavement. And now, on the first storm of the season, your phone lights up with their message. "It's raining. Made me think of you." You told them about your grandmother's recipe, the one that tastes like childhood. Next thing you know, they've spent hours trying to recreate it, just to see you smile, that specific smile that reaches your eyes. They remember the small things everyone else lets slip away. The song you hummed absent-mindedly. The way you said you've always wanted to see the northern lights. The fact that you hate being cold, but love winter mornings. These aren't details you highlighted or repeated. You just lived them out loud. And they were paying attention, like every moment with you was worth memorizing. There's something devastating and beautiful about being remembered this way. Like every piece of you they collect is a treasure they're too afraid to tell you they're keeping. They carry your words in their chest, like poems they read in quiet moments. And when they bring up something you've forgotten, you even said, don't brush it off. That's love speaking in the only way it knows how. Through attention, through care, through making sure that nothing about you ever feels small or unimportant. Sign 3 is where most people finally start to see what's been there all along. If you're still here, If you're feeling something shifting in your chest, then I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, because what's coming next in sign 4 is going to change how you see love forever. And I want to make sure you never miss these moments again. Now, let's talk about the heartbreak they hide so well. Pay attention to what happens when you mention someone else. Not a friend, but someone who might be more. Watch how their smile stays perfectly in place, but something in their eyes goes distant. Like a light dimming behind glass, they'll say all the right things. I'm happy for you. They sound great. You deserve someone amazing, and they mean it. Every single word. But there's a tremor underneath. A kind of quiet breaking that they've learned to swallow before you notice. They want you to be happy, genuinely, deeply. They want your joy, even if it means watching you choose someone else. But God, it taught them something. You might catch them going quiet when you talk about a date, or making a joke that lands just a little off. A little too sharp, like they're trying to laugh through something that's cutting them from the inside. This is what loving someone silently looks like. It's being their biggest cheerleader while your own heart is breaking. It's wanting their happiness more than you want your own confession. And the cruelest part? They'll never tell you it hurts, because telling you would mean making your joy about their pain. And they love you too much to do that. So they smile, they encourage, they support. And late at night, when you're not there, they let themselves feel everything they hide from you during the day. That's not weakness. That's the strongest, most selfless kind of love, and if you've seen it, if you felt that strange tension when you mention someone's name, you're standing in the presence of something rare. Sign 4 is where everything comes together. This is it. The sign that separates everything else from something eternal. They love you in your absence. When you're not in the room, you're still in their thoughts. When you're not speaking, they're still hearing your voice. You exist in them like music they can't stop playing. Something reminds them of you and suddenly they're texting, not because they need anything, just because the world felt more right when they shared it with you. A sunset that matches your favorite color. A joke you would have laughed at. A moment that felt empty because you weren't there to fill it. They defend you when you're not around to hear it. Someone says something careless about you and they step in. Firm but gentle, like protecting you is instinct. Not because they want credit, but because the thought of anyone diminishing you feels physically wrong to them. Your wins become their wins. You achieve something and they're celebrating like it's their own victory. Calling people, sharing the news, their pride so genuine, it makes your chest ache when you find out later. This is what it means to be loved beyond presence. To exist in someone's heart so completely that distance doesn't matter. That silence doesn't erase you. That time apart only makes you more vivid in their mind. Most people love you when you're convenient, when you're right there, easy to hold. But the ones who love you when you're gone, the ones who carry you in their thoughts like a constant companion, those are the ones who would have loved you forever. And if that's the kind of love that's been following you, if these signs are stacking up too perfectly to ignore, then there's something crucial you need to understand about what happens next. You might be wondering, if all of this is true, if they feel this deeply, why haven't they just told me? And here's the answer that breaks and heals at the same time. They're not silent because they don't love you enough. They're silent because they love you too much. Think about what they're holding. On one side, a confession that might change everything. A chance, however small, that you might feel the same, that the story could shift from longing to belonging. But on the other side, there's you, the person they can't imagine losing, the friendship that's become their favorite part of living. And they've done the math in their head 1,000 times. Telling you might give them more, but it could also take away everything. What if it makes things awkward? What if you start pulling away, putting distance between you to avoid hurting them? What if the easy comfort you share now gets replaced with tension and careful words? They can survive loving you from beside you, but loving you from a distance, losing even the simple joy of your presence, that would destroy them. So they choose silence, not because they're afraid of rejection, but because they're terrified of loss. They'd rather have you as a friend than risk not having you at all. And maybe, in the quiet of their own heart, they're hoping. Not for you to love them back necessarily, but for you to see them, really see them. To notice the way they look at you, to feel the weight of their care, to realize that all this time, you haven't been walking through life alone. Someone has been beside you, loving you in every way they know how except the one that requires words. And perhaps they're waiting for a sign from you. A moment where your eyes meet and linger. A question that opens a door they've been standing outside of for so long. Because deep down, they believe that if you feel even a fraction of what they feel, you'll find a way to show them. But now comes the question that matters most. So here you are. The signs are undeniable. The pieces are falling into place. Someone has been loving you quietly, faithfully, completely. And now that you see it, now that it's real and right in front of you, what do? First, breathe. Sit with what you're feeling. Don't rush to respond. Don't force an answer before your heart is ready. Because here's something people forget. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean you owe them love in return. You're allowed to not feel the same way. You're allowed to value the friendship without wanting more. But if you do feel something, if these signs made your heart race, if their name has been circling your mind this entire time, then maybe it's time to stop pretending you haven't noticed. Love is terrifying because it asks us to be vulnerable, to risk the comfortable for the possible, to say, I see you seeing me and mean it. Start small if you need to. Let your touch linger a little longer. Hold their gaze when they look away. Ask them questions that go deeper than surface. Create space for truth to exist between you, and pay attention to how they respond. Because if they love you the way these signs suggest, your openness will be like permission they've been waiting for. But if you're certain you don't feel the same, please, be gentle. Don't ignore what you now know. Don't pretend everything is normal while they're still aching. Have the conversation. Be honest, be kind, be clear. Tell them you see their love and you're honored by it. But your heart is in a different place. It will hurt. But honesty hurts less than false hope. And if you're still unsure, ask yourself one question. If they disappeared from your life tomorrow, if you never saw them again, would you regret not trying? Because sometimes the biggest tragedy isn't taking a risk and failing. It's never taking the risk at all and spending the rest of your life wondering what if. There's one more truth you need to hear, and it's the one that will stay with you long after this video ends. Let me tell you about the love stories that don't get told. The ones where someone loves you their entire life and never says a word. They watch you fall for other people. They smile at your wedding photos. They hold your children and feel their heart break and mend at the same time because those kids have your eyes. Years pass, maybe decades, and one day, over coffee or at a reunion when life has settled into its rhythms, the truth slips out. Casual, almost like it doesn't matter anymore. I was in love with you. You know, back then for a long time actually, and you're stunned. The room tilts. All those moments you thought were just friendship suddenly rearrange themselves into a completely different story. How did I see it? How did I miss something so obvious? But here's what they won't tell you in that moment. They don't regret loving you, even in silence, even unrequited. Because loving you, even from a distance, even without reciprocation, was still the most beautiful thing they ever did. You made their life better just by being in it. Your happiness gave them joy, even when it wasn't with them, and they learned what it means to love someone selflessly, to want someone's good more than their own gratification. But you might be left holding a truth you can never change. They were right there the whole time, and you didn't notice until it was too late. So I'm asking you now, before this becomes a story of what could have been, what are you going to do about it? If someone's face has been in your mind this entire time, if these signs have confirmed what your heart has been whispering, then don't let this moment pass. Don't let fear or comfort or uncertainty steal something that could be extraordinary. Before you go, do two things for me. Hit that like button and subscribe, because I create content about love, connection, and the invisible threads that bind us. And second, leave a comment. Tell me which sign hit you hardest. Share your story if you're brave enough, because your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to finally take the leap. Love doesn't always need grand gestures or perfect timing. Sometimes it just needs someone brave enough to finally notice, and maybe, just maybe, that someone is you.